What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. I hope everyone had a great weekend, but we're back here on NBA 2K25, back on the good old grind, and we're here with another realistic rebuild. As today we have the New York Knicks. Now, obviously, the Knicks are a team that probably don't need much of our help, but as you guys know, we usually do all 30 teams to give every single team some love. As today we have the New York Knicks. We only have like 5 of these left to do. We move on to something else. Let's go ahead, jump in, and get straight into this New York Knicks realistic rebuild and get them a championship. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. I'm recording this ahead of the Monday night games, and then of course, as you guys are seeing this, the Cup Championship will be on. So let me know who you guys got winning that one down in the comment section below. But of course, Jalen Brunson, Karl Towns. As we all know, the Knicks made the massive trade before the season started to get Karl Towns here. You have OG and Mikal Bridges on the same team, which is still mind-boggling to think about, by the way, because I remember as a Blazers fan, these were the two dream forwards that I wanted next to Dame and CJ, and the fact that they're both on the same team now is just insane to me. But Josh Hart, of course, is phenomenal. Is fun. Miles McBride or Deuce McBride, Cameron Payne-Achua, and then here's the rest of the roster. So the only other thing I want to look at is shot tendencies, because as we all know, the shot tendencies in 2K sometimes have made no sense, but I think I agree with what we see so far. Jalen Brunson should be as high as hell, and then Karl Towns should be the second one, and then yeah, I can agree with basically everything I'm seeing. So we're gonna go ahead with the rest of year one without pretty much doing anything, of course, because this team is already set up to win championships, but we need to try to win more than one today, I think, is the ultimate goal, because we might get a free one in the first season, because sometimes the Knicks do end up winning in year one. So hopefully we can get that, and then we can build on that and get them another one. We'll see if there's any moves that really, there definitely some things we can do, but once Mitchell Robinson's healthy, that will make our rotation that much better. But let's go ahead, simulate to the end of year one, and we'll see how this team finishes out. Today's video is brought to you by Daily Grind Fantasy's Optimizer. If you play on apps such as PrizePicks, Underdog, or any other of these popular DFS apps, having a tool like this is awesome to have to find good plays right in front of you without having to do little to no research. So if we look at the board right now for PrizePicks, it's definitely a little dry because I don't really like the fantasy scores, but let's take a look. So we got Tyler Algier under 6.5 rushing attempts tonight on the book. So as you can see, it's an average odds of -138, but there's some books at -150, -135. If we have anything else, we got Yabusele over 12.5 points plus assists. That looks pretty solid as well. So a couple of plays we found just like that, which is really nice. And of course, make sure to also check out PrizePicks. Link is also down in the description below. They give you $50 instantly if you play $5 when you use code Crushables. Use code Crushables on both sites. Daily Grind Fantasy, you get 25% off your first month. And on PrizePicks, like I said, you get a free $50 instantly when you free $50 instantly when you simply play $5. And I believe they have a Jokic promo up right now as well. I don't know if that's going to show up here, but I'm not signed in. Let's take a look. And it does. There it is. So as you can see, they have a Jokic promo on Christmas Day. It's a really good time to take advantage. Make sure to check it out. Links down in the description below. Use code Crushables. On that, let's get back to the rebuild. So at the end of year one, Luka wins MVP as usual. Jared McCain is your rookie of the year, who unfortunately got hurt and is out indefinitely. Russell Westbrook is your sixth man, Wemby's defensive player, and Jalen Suggs most improved, and Jokic is your clutch player, and JSK is your coach of the year, and Jordan Hobson is your executive. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third team. Karl Towns is your All-NBA third team with 24 and 12. Did Brunson make it? I just didn't see it. No, he didn't make it, which is a little disappointing. I'll say that. But here's all of first team and all of its second team. And I will say, in the year of 2025, I really want to make an emphasis when we do realistic rebuilds in 2025, we got to do it with injuries on, man. Like, I always slack and I always have them off. But when we're doing realism, and I'm going to do that same thing in Madden too, that's going to be a new, I guess, New Year's resolution for me, even though it's not, I don't know. You get the point. Like, it's going to be a new change on the channel, I think, going forward. I'm not going to do it now because we've pretty much done all 30 teams with injuries off, but I think in 2025 when we do realistic rebuilds, we got to change it to injuries on. I don't know, I just feel like that'd be better to change it up a little bit. Let's go take a look at the player stats. He had 24.5 as we saw from Cat, but Jalen Brunson had 26 and 7. I'm not sure how that doesn't get him on an All-NBA team. That sucks. 16 from Mikal, 12 from OG, 12 from Cameron Payne, and 11 from Josh Hart. Now it's time to find out if we'll get a championship in year one, like I think we can. We draw the Pacers in round one, which is perfect because we can get some sweet revenge for what happened, of course, earlier, or I guess last season. So let's simulate the playoffs against the Pacers in round one, and we will beat them in 5. So off to a good start, and now we draw the Milwaukee Bucks, which is going to be an interesting series. Damian Lillard, Giannis, of course, in the quest to getting a championship. Dame for his first one, Giannis with his second one. So we'll go ahead and see how this one goes, and we will beat them in 5. Oh, now we get to play the team that New York built this roster for, which is the Celtics. Of course, they went for OG and Mikal to really help out with their perimeter defense. Karl Towns is going to give them a stretch 5, and Brunson is Brunson, as we all know. So let's see if this ends up in our favor. We'll go game by game here. So game 1 goes to Boston. Game 2, we even it up. So we take 1 at TD Garden, which is great. Hopefully we can defend Madison Square Garden, and we do win both at MSG. And will we win back at home once again in MSG? So let's see if we can beat the Celtics to get to the finals here, to achieve our goal of beating the Celtics team to get a championship. And we are going to a game 7. So this is definitely something I could absolutely see happening in real life. So we have to go win on the road in TD Garden to get ourselves in the finals. Are we going to be able to do that? We are winning right now, but does that mean we hang on to the lead is the question. And we are going to hang on. So we are headed to the finals. We beat the Celtics in 7. We get to play the Timberwolves, who have, of course, obviously, this is where Cat used to play. They now have DiVincenzo and Randall, so it's kind of an interesting scenario here where the two teams that made a trade with each other are playing each other now in the final. So we win here. So we're down 1-0. We even it up, though, so we take 1. It looks like both of them were at Madison Square Garden, so now I think we're on the road. And do we win 1? Yep. Okay, so far, we're back home in Madison Square Garden to see if we can win this game 5, which would obviously be massive to do so. But it looks like they're going to win it. So, unfortunately for us, we're going to fall short, and we'll find ourselves down 3-2 to this Timberwolves team. So, let's see if we can't win Game 6 to force a Game 7 back at MSG. I would love to get a championship in year 1, but it may not be in the cards right now, as the Timberwolves are going to get one over on us and beat us in 6 to defeat the Knicks in the finals. So, Minnesota gets their championship. Unfortunately, we don't get ours, so I was kind of hoping to make this a multi-championship video, but with not winning in the first season, that's going to make it a little bit tougher. So maybe we're just after 1 now, but we'll get straight to work. Obviously, there's not going to be a ton of things I can do with this roster because they've pretty much gone all in on what they have right now, but there's some small things I'm sure we can figure out. So let's get into the lottery. I don't even know if we have a pick this offseason or not. I'm not sure. It says we have one via Washington, but obviously that's not the true case. And our pick is going to Brooklyn from the Mikal trade. So we do not have a pick. Unless if we have like a Mavericks pick or something, but I think that's already been done. And yeah, so Mavericks have their pick. So yeah, we don't have a pick in this draft at all, which is a little disappointing, but it is what it is. So let's go see what else we got going on. So we will keep Tom Thibodeau. I mean, we just made the finals. So we'll see what kind of moves we can make this offseason. There's not going to be a ton that we can do. We could probably make like 1 or 2 trades. So we have the 19th and the 27th overall pick. So what I think I'm going to try to do is see if I can trade up into the top, I don't know, into the bottom. Like, can we get like the 30th overall pick or like 28th overall pick? Maybe we could do something like that. So let's see if we can maybe make something happen with one of the late picking teams. So maybe not Boston, but let's say we go to 29. Let's try for pick 29 from Dallas, maybe. We offer them 19, 27, and maybe not Dallas. Dallas maybe doesn't make a ton of sense. Is there another team that's maybe pick hungry that could use, like, I don't know, is there like, I mean, all the teams that are picking late obviously, made the playoffs or whatever, but like, so could we get our pick back from the Nets? I doubt it. I mean, it ends up being the 26th overall pick, so I wonder if we could send in like multiple seconds to get our pick back. We like buy our pick back with 4 second round picks. They agree. Okay, so we're gonna do that, get ourselves our first round pick back to see if we can get somebody late in this draft to kind of give us a boost going forward, because obviously how expensive this roster is, trying to get someone in the first round of rookie contract would be very important. So let's see if we can get lucky here. Number 1's gonna be Ace Bailey to Philadelphia, so that'll be interesting with already, Jared McCain, Maxey, Paul George, Joel Embiid. So that should make them even better. Harper is also for the Wizards. Charlotte's gonna get Cooper Flag at 3, and then Portland's gonna get, I don't even know, they're gonna take VJ Edgecombe. Okay, well, let's go pick a 26 and let's see what is available to us here. So we have Rocky on the board, we have Colin Murray Boyles on the board. So a lot of different, I mean, Colin Murray actually doesn't sound too bad. We have Toppin. Is there anybody else, as my smoke alarm is currently going off for whatever reason? Hopefully there's not a fire in the kitchen. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it looks like we're good because it's off now. But Rocky out of Australia, could he be our future backup big man, or do we go Colin Murray Boyles here? I think I'm going to take Colin Murray here. I think I've taken him in the lottery before, so the fact that he's here, I think we definitely take advantage of that. So welcome to the Knicks out of South Carolina. So that'll be a first nice addition to the team. Probably won't play too much this first season, but, well, maybe we can get him in. If we move him to small forward, he might go up 2 overall. We'll accept our rookie contract, and then we have Toppin, Kevin McCullough, and these 3 as restricted free agents. But for free agency, We obviously aren't going to have a ton of money to spend, but somehow Vince Williams is here, which he really shouldn't be, but he is here. So we'll see what that looks like. But right now, Tyler Kolek, I don't know how much he develops, but if he does develop at all until he gets 77, he could definitely play backup point guard next year. We could also move McBride back there too. That would not be a bad thing to do as well. Dottier is not going to be ready to play next year, obviously, and then Mitch Robinson, Carly Town. So to me, we might be able to move Colin Murray Boyles to small forward. He might be able to go up in overall. Let's see. And he stays the same, actually. A little disappointed by that. I would have loved to have seen him jump up, but I did not get that lucky. That sucks. So if he would have gone up to like a 76, that would have been clutch, but unfortunately not going to get that lucky. But I'll still play him at the 3 because he's 6'7". So we're cool with that. He might be the backup 3 next year regardless. And now I guess the only thing we can really do is sign a power forward for the most part. So I guess we'll see what that maybe looks like. So, or we could sign Vince Williams, who's on a very cheap contract, and we also could bring back Precious Achua. A lot of different things we can do, but Vince Williams, for whatever reason, got waived. So, yeah, I mean, we might as well try for that, right? And we can bring back Precious Achua on a nice deal, too. So, we will give Vince Williams and Achua, so I think that's a solid offseason. And I don't think Colin Murray will be ready to play this season anyway, so Vince Williams gets that role instead. So, yeah, that's the only thing we're doing. So, obviously, we didn't have a lot of room for margin to trade or change much, but definitely think we did what we could. Kolek did go up to 77, so he is going to play right away, which is awesome. Or he's going to contribute in this next season, so that's great. Josh Hart went down in overall, and low-key, we could move Josh Hart to, like, we could switch these positions up, because, like, we could play OG at the power forward, because if Josh Hart goes up to, like, I don't know, shooting guard or small forward, he probably goes up like crazy. So, yeah, small forward, he's a 85. Shooting guard, he's, you know, and then Mikal might even go up at small forward, so I don't know. We might. What does OG do at power? Ooh, OG goes down like crazy, though. Damn, okay. That's a little annoying. But, all right. Maybe we just leave Josh Hart the power forward, I guess. So, that's fine. We all know he rebounds like crazy. So, that's, I guess, okay. But let's go ahead and get straight into this season number 2. And we'll see how this one goes. So, if this doesn't go well and we don't win a championship, then you might have to start thinking about trading away one of your key pieces. And I don't know who that will be, but we might have to, you know, just look ourselves in the mirror and kind of see who might be the guy that has to be moved here. So, Jalen Brunson, I mean, the starting 5 is going to stay the same, obviously. Brunson, Mikal, OG, Josh Hart, Cat, with Mitch Robinson, Miles McBride, Vince Williams, and then Kolek's going to contribute now. So that's going to leave Achua and Murray Boyles out of the rotation, but that's fine. Going forward, they're going to be nice depth, and we're cool with that. We also could run a same rotation for the regular season, but I'm going to rock with this. We'll see how year number 2 goes. We should still be a good team. Should, in theory, still be a top 3 seed. No problem. Shouldn't be a sweat. But obviously, the goal is not regular season, you know, first seed, second seed. We want to win a championship. So hopefully we can achieve that goal at least here in year 2. So at the end of year 2, no surprise, Luka is your back-to-back MVP. Flag wins Rookie of the Year in Charlotte. Ahmed Thompson, 6-man wave defensive player. And Dalton Connects your most improved. And Max is your clutch player. And Kids your coach of the year. And Hobson is your executive. So here's Jean Bay first team. Do we get Brunson here this time around or not? No Cat either. So neither one of them make it, unfortunately for us. All defensive first team and all defensive second team. Here's our all rookie team. And obviously our rookie didn't play many minutes, so he's not going to be on here. And Bronny James was on there. Interesting. But we are the first seed. So as I kind of said, I really wanted to see us as the first seed, and we did achieve that. But none of it matters. We don't win a championship here. So this was our second opportunity at it. So hopefully it pays off this time. And Boston's nowhere to be seen as far as the playoff bracket. They're actually in the play-in. So getting them as the 8th seed, though, sounds a little intimidating. So hopefully that's not the case. And of course it will be. So we went to 7 with them last year. And to draw them for our first round matchup is brutal. Really brutal. But hopefully they're the 8th seed for a reason and we could beat them. We all know 2K doesn't like Boston very much. I don't know why. It just always seems to be like that. But hopefully we don't lose to them. And no sweat, we beat them in 5. So I thought it was going to be a little bit closer than it was. We beat them. And now we get to play the team that we beat last year. We beat them pretty easily. So hopefully we can repeat that again. And we're going to beat them in 5. So just like that, we're back in the conference finals. But now we get Charlotte, who obviously added Cooper Flagg. They have Capella now, too. And Brandon Miller's still good, too. Or really good now as well. And LaMelo exists. So this won't be easy. But game 1 does go to us. Game 2 goes to us. So far, so good. And this bracket is really going our way thus far. And we beat them in 5. So just like that, already made it back to the finals. We don't have to deal with Minnesota this time. But it will be Luka Doncic and the Mavericks. So that's 2 finals appearances in a row. But will we win this time is the ultimate question. Luka versus Brunson, former teammates. Brunson versus his former squad. This will be interesting. So game 1 goes to Dallas. Not a good start. They're up 2-0. And we got to even the series. And we're down 3-1. All right. Well, that is brutal, to say the least. To run into Dallas and Minnesota back-to-back and to lose back-to-back would be brutal. So at least we're going to a Game 6 here, it looks like. So Game 6 on the way. We did lose in 6 last year, so hopefully this time around we could force a Game 7, make things interesting, and maybe we got to jump into maybe both of these, but it looks like Dallas might start run away with this, and we are going to fall short once again. So 2 finals appearances in a row, and we lose both times. That is brutal, brutal. And Dallas goes on to win the championship. So that's 2 appearances, no championships at all. That sucks bad. That stings, man. It really does. So as far as draft picks this offseason, we do have a pick. So it's the 29th overall. And we got the 3rd pick via Washington, which I already know is not actually the case. That pick definitely is protected, or it would be a way bigger deal than it is. So I'm going to send that pick back to Washington. I don't even need to research that. I know for a fact we're not even supposed to have that pick. But 29th overall pick, we can work with that. Maybe we can make a trade with that selection, because I'm not in the business of adding another rookie here. Although it could be important to do that. But at this point, we're trying to go win, and we have not done it just yet. So really disappointed with the result. Really would love to have seen us get a championship here, but unfortunately not going to be the case. So let me go ahead and just send this pick back to the Wizards, by the way. So let's just do that right now. So that'll be done. And now we can figure out if there's any kind of, I don't know, is there anything we could do with this 29th overall pick and maybe another player? So like Precious Achua and the 29th pick. What would that get us? Does that look like anything out here? So let's see. So we could trade 2 firsts for Kilmard, which I'm not going to do. Jalen Smith, no. Sam Hauser, Cody Zeller, first, no. Von Looney, no. Bruce Brown. Okay, Bruce Brown's interesting. Definitely the kind of player you want to win a championship. I actually don't mind that at all. So we'll keep looking. CJ McCollum is pretty interesting. Russ O'Neal. And we get the 14th pick or Grant Williams, but that doesn't really change much. So I definitely think we're going to do the Bruce Brown trade. We get a, we're also swapping a second for the 29th pick. So basically, the Nets get a younger player, and they get the 29th pick for Bruce Brown. Yeah, I actually like this trade a lot. This feels pretty realistic. I like it. So Achua, younger player, goes to Brooklyn. We swap picks as well. I'm definitely fine with this. We get Bruce Brown on the team. That feels good. So now we'll figure out where we play him, but obviously has championship winning experience with Denver. Very happy to have added him to this team. We'll find a way to fit him in here. So let's go 2 draft nights and pick in the early second. See if we can get anything good. I doubt we'll find anything of value, but you never know. So let's see. Is there anything here that makes sense for us? Is there anybody I recognize? Samuel Jackson has a ceiling of All-NBA for Rajon Rondo or Bernard King. I don't know anything about these dudes here. Is there anybody? Ted Cooper. I don't know a single player here, to be honest. So you know what? I'm going to let the AI take care of this one. So we got Fred Hardy. Don't know anything about him. So Pacom Dadier, which, you know, he's developing, might be able to contribute this year. I don't know. So I think Mitch Robinson's a free agent and Mikel's a free agent, which I'm in the business of signing both of them back, honestly. I think that's important to do. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that's the case. So we get both of them back. And now we're on the quest to, I guess, just get 1 championship today, because we're obviously not getting 2. We're going to try to get 1 still. So Mikel, Hart, Kolek, where are we going to play Bruce Brown is the question. Well, I think Colin is going to have to move back to power forward. We'll figure it out. Bruce Brown might even regress, but regardless, he'll be good depth regardless of how it goes. So let's go to player progression, because we're not signing anybody else in free agency. We'll see how much he goes down in overall maybe. So he actually is still 78, and Colin's up to 77 ready to play. So that's good. So we'll find a way to fit them in. I mean, you don't have to have position for position. So it'll probably be Brunson, Kolek, Mikel, Miles McBride, and Bruce Brown. You have OG, Comer, well, no power forward, and we'll have Mitch Robinson. So we'll see who's sitting out. It might end up being the rookie still, Colin Murray. I think Bruce Brown has to play, and we could even move him to small forward. He'd probably go up in overall even more. But obviously, we traded for him to have some experience here. Maybe at the deadline, we'll make an even bigger trade. It's not like we made another altering trade here, and Bruce Brown's going to change everything. But we've gone to the finals twice now. We just have to hope that, you know, maybe this year we finally get over the top. I don't know. So let's see. Maybe even changing of the rotation would work out in our favor. So low key, I think I'm going to move things around here. So Josh Hart to me feels like shooting guard. So we're going to move him to shooting guard. Mikel's going to go to small forward. OG's going to go down to power forward, although he goes down like crazy, which sucks. But I prefer to play him there at this point. This is what I kind of want the rotation to look like. So we'll do that. So Brunson, Kolek, and then Mikel at the 3, OG at the 4. Let's take a look at see what that looks like. So now you have Brunson, Hart, Mikal, OG. So same starting 5. And you have Mitch Robinson, Miles McBride, Kolick, Bruce Brown, and then that leaves, Murray Boyles and Vince Williams out of the rotation, which I think you're fine with. Does Murray Boyles go down if we move to power forward? He doesn't. So maybe move him to power forward and move Bruce Brown to small forward, and we run a Tamron rotation to get him some minutes this year. Yeah, I can rock with that. I think we can do that. Although, we're probably going to bench Vince Williams for this role right here. All right, well, that's what we're going to rock with. If I feel the need to stop the deadline to make any different changes, of course, I will stop to show to you guys. But obviously, everything we can do, if we made a big trade, it would have to do with our starting 5. We'll have to see if anything, pops up. We'll see if that is something we decide to do. But for now, I'm going to rock with what we got. So far, things are going pretty decent or pretty good. So if I stop the deadline to do anything, of course, I'll show you guys. So the team is kind of struggling a little bit this season, probably because I moved things around. I'm going to do something pretty interesting. This might be risky to do, but bear with me when I do this. I'm going to trade OG Anunoby. I don't know why. I'm feeling like this is the best thing to do right now. We're playing him at the power forward spot anyway. He's okay and all, but I think if we get Hardenstein in here, it's just going to help this rotation out a lot more. And obviously, the New York Knicks are very familiar with Hardenstein. He's up to an 85 overall. We also get Derrick Jones Jr. in the trade. So we're going to do this, and bear with me when we do this. So we got OG Anunoby out of here. We're 28-22 on the season right now, which is why we're even doing this in the first place. But that's going to slide Karl Towns back to power forward where he played in Minnesota. So Cat's going to play power forward, and Hardenstein's going to be the starting center. That's going to take less pressure off Cat, obviously. So now you have Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal, Cat, and Hardenstein. I rock with it. I think I can rock with this. So now you kind of have a really interesting rotation, and I think it's going to benefit us well, hopefully. That's my hope anyway. And Derrick Jones Jr. is not a bad player to plug in here either. So I'm also just going to run 9-man for the rest of the season, and we'll see how that works out. So hopefully doing that pays off. I think, Hardenstein gives us a lot of rebounding at that 5 spot. Obviously, Josh Hart's going to rebound like crazy the shooting guard spot still. Mikal grabs 3 boards. Cat's going to rebound. So that should help us at a ton in that department. I'm hoping it pays off. 28-22 on the season right now. So hopefully with Hardenstein being brought in, we can maybe start to win some games, get, on a rally here and get ourselves back as a top 3 seed in this Eastern Conference. So for whatever reason, we just kind of fell off a bit. We're in the play-in, but I do think we're probably still a scary play-in team to deal with. Weirdly enough, though, giving Hardenstein makes our proficiency better at 4.5, so that feels good. Maybe rock with a balance system. I don't know. I'm going to do anything I can to try to change our fortune here, but I really want to win a championship this season. And if we don't, we'll get a new head coach, and we'll move on from Tom Thibodeau. That would be our last resort, truly, is keeping this rotation the same. We'll move on from Tom Thibodeau. So we get to play the Boston Celtics, who we've had success with, or success against lately, but let's see if we can get out of this play-in game alive and get into the playoffs. So it looks good right now, and we are going to get in. So I think we're going to be a scary 7th seed. We get Orlando in round 1. I do think we have the ability to upset them, and hopefully we do end up doing that. So here goes nothing. So we play in, and let's only come around against Orlando, see how this goes. So we win, and we win 4 straight. So we literally just swept the 2nd seed. So as I thought, and then Toronto swept or beat Cleveland in 5. So I guess the lower seeds on this lower side of the bracket are, successful right now. So let's see if we do the same thing to Toronto, and we beat them in 4 too. Okay, so we're back in the conference finals. Now we get to play Detroit. So I'm going to slow this one down because Detroit usually ends up getting pretty good at this point, and they're up 2-0, just like that. But can we even the series? No, we're down 3-1. Well, we'll get to Simcast, see if we can find a way to come back from 3-1, and Detroit is not going to allow that to happen, it looks like, unless we get back in this game. It's going to be a loss for us again. All right, well, we're going to go one more season here. So, maybe I should have just kept things the same, and eventually it would have worked out, but I felt the need to make a change because clearly we kept getting the finals and then losing. Well, Tom Thibodeau, we'll move on from him. We'll see if a new coach changes our fortune at all. So we'll go for Nick Nurse. We'll go for not Doc Rivers. We'll go for Tyronn Lue, which both of them would be great. So either one of them would be fantastic. Tyronn Lue, like that a lot. So that's going to be great. We'll go to Ricky signing. The team's going to stay the same. We're not changing anything. The only thing we're worried about now is the head coach. Josh Hart will accept, and then Cat's a free agent, which obviously we got to re-sign him. But yeah, we're going to leave this all the same. Miles McBride, free agent, Derrick Jones. We could probably let Derrick Jones go. But Miles McBride and Cat, we're going to re-sign them, and we're rocking with them going forward. But Colin Murray-Boyles is going to have a massive role this season. Is there anybody else we can bring back? It doesn't look like it. So, or we can bring back Bruce Brown, I guess. Let's do that. So, Bruce Brown will bring Bruce Brown back. And now let's go to player progression. So, guys will probably start to regress here if I had to guess, but we'll rock with it. So nobody's regressing too much, and Dadier is even ready to play. So we didn't even need to bring Bruce Brown back at all, it looks like. So Dadier is going to be our backup 3 this year, which is fun. So I'm cool with that. But all right, year number, what is this, 5 or 4 at this point? So no matter what, I'm going to make this the final season. Not going to make any changes. Tyronn Lue is the only change I wanted to make. Does moving on from Tom Thibodeau change anything? I don't know. We've gotten to the conference finals every single time. Lost in the finals twice. Lost the conference finals this last year. We'll have a full rotation or full season, full training camp of Hardenstein and all them together, even though I don't know if training camp is really a factor in 2K, but whatever. You get the point. So let's go look at proficiency. So it's still 4.5. I was about to say, could this be a 5-star under Tom Thibodeau? No, it's a 4.5. And here it is. So rotation: Brunson, McHale, Josh Hart, Cat, Isaiah Hardenstein, Robinson, McBride, Kolek, Murray-Boyles, and Bruce Brown. So I'm rocking with that. We can go to a 9 rotation for the regular season, and then once again the playoffs, so we'll stick with that. And all right, hopefully this team does really well, and we can finally get a championship to New York. Thought we would have been able to do it earlier than we, earlier in the video. Fortunately, have not had it go our way yet, but hopefully in this final season, it finally will swing our way. So it is now time for the final chance to get this Knicks team a championship, and we do end up as the 2nd seed. So we're back in, where we belong. McHale averaged 22 to be the 2nd leading scorer here, and Cat, took a back seat to 17 and 10. It looks like. Kolek with 11, Murray with 10, 9 from Josh Hart, 8 from McBride, and 6 and 7 from Mitch Robinson. So here goes nothing. We draw the Indiana Pacers round 1, who we've beaten a couple times already. They do have Drake Powell now, so I don't know if that's going to change anything. But we're going to beat them in 5. So off to a good start. But now we draw the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have Jalen Tyson, Mobley Allen, Garland Mitchell. We know the usual Cavs team. Can we beat them as well? And we beat them in 5. And now for Toronto, who we beat last year pretty easily, if I remember correctly. So let's see if we can do that again. And we'll beat them in 4. So we finally make it back to the final. I don't know if I should say finally. We make it to the finals again. So we were just back in the conference finals last year. But now we get Houston, which has a very good young core. And as we all know, 2K loves your young teams. It wouldn't even remotely surprise me if this is the 3rd time we made it to the finals and fell short of our goal. Game 1 goes to us, though. So that's off to a good start. So far, so good. And it looks like we finally did it. So boom, we did it. It took us 4 or 5 seasons to do it. But hey, we got the Knicks championship. Brunson is your Finals MVP. Feel like we should have probably gotten 2 in this video to call it a success, but I'll still be happy with at least 1. It's better than 0, right? So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I do understand that OG for Hardenstein trade might be a little controversial, but I thought it made sense at the time that we did it in the video. Obviously, I really encourage you guys to think about this, because sometimes when I make a trade like 5 seasons in the future in 2K, you think I'm talking about like right now. Obviously, if you're the Knicks, do not trade OG for Hardenstein, although Hardenstein's a good player, don't get me wrong, but whatever. I don't think I need to defend myself, but I did anyway. I'm gonna end it there. Thank you all for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.